We're on? Okay, all right. Well, welcome, Mr. Secretary, to EMSL, the Environmental Molecular Sciences Laboratory, a DOE national user facility for the Biological and Environmental Research Program, or BER, within the Office of Science that we here at PNNL steward. Within the research area for BER, microbes hold a special place in their heart because they represent the single largest pool of biological function on Earth, given the sheer numbers of microbes that exist. Microbes are useful for advancing the bioeconomy by converting a wide variety of natural resources and feedstocks into critical products like fuels and energy sources, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, obtaining critical minerals and metals, as well as managing legacy nuclear waste. But they are largely unstudied. Today, we're excited to welcome DOE Secretary Chris Wright and CEO from Ginkgo Bioworks, Jason Kelly, to commission the anaerobic microbial molecular phenotyping platform, known as AMP2, which currently is the world's largest automated platform for anaerobic microbial experimentation. AMP2 is an example of how DOE is delivering now on its Genesis mission, a national initiative led by the nation's 17 national laboratories to build the world's most powerful scientific platform to accelerate scientific discovery, strengthen our national security, and drive energy innovation. DOE's investments to build AMP2 represent an unparalleled integration of autonomous capable experimental hardware with AI-driven software that will exponentially increase the experimental space and the pace at which we can explore this world of unknown microbial function. At the same time, though, autonomy and AI are rapidly changing and reshaping the way that science is done, amping up the throughput in laboratories and allowing investigators to accomplish in days what normally would take weeks, months, and oftentimes years. This is a key output of DOE's Genesis mission. PNNL is bringing autonomous science, AI, and our microbial expertise together in ways never done before that will position EMSL and PNNL as hubs for high throughput, AI-enabled biodesign and biological discovery. To bring their vision to reality, EMSL and PNNL scientists and engineers working alongside the Ginkgo Bioworks experts designed, built, and installed the anaerobic automated phenotyping platform, AMP2, that you see here in the room. And for as big as AMP2 is, this is actually a prototype for a massive BER facility called the Microbial Molecular Phenotyping Capability, or M2PC, which we'll also call EMSL home. Today, we're happy to announce that Ginkgo Bioworks has been awarded a $47 million competitive contract to build the M2PC autonomous platform. PNNL plans to break ground on M2PC next year, with the facility expected to be open and ready for scientists from around the world to use by 2030. Today, AMP2, and in the future, M2PC will directly support DOE's Genesis mission and the use of agentic AI to drive autonomous biodesign efforts within the Office of Science. I'd like to introduce now Jason Kelly, the co-founder and CEO of Ginkgo Bioworks. Ginkgo's work with PNNL has been instrumental in designing and building the AMP2 platform and will also be critical in doing so for the M2PC platform. Jason, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Douglas. And welcome, Mr. Secretary. It's an honor to be here with you today.
Great to be here.
A quick introduction. I'm the CEO of Ginkgo Bioworks. We're a Boston-based public company. We're the leaders in building autonomous labs, like the one you can see in the room behind me, AMP2. And like Douglas mentioned, we're really delighted to have been selected to build a system that's about 10 times larger than this system, M2PC, that will be coming out soon. So, what is an autonomous lab? It's a key part of the Genesis mission, and so I want to give you a little bit of background on it. So it's a little bit like an autonomous car, right? Like you get in the back of a Waymo, you tell it where you want to go, and then the computer and the car kind of handle all the bumps along the way and traffic lights, pedestrians, anything that might pop up. Autonomous lab, similar. You're a scientist here at one of our national labs, and you tell the lab where you want to go, your hypothesis, your idea for science. And the lab is going to handle the many bumps and along the way, debugging those experiments and so on. And honestly, science is a little bit like off-roading. There's a lot of things, a lot of bumps that come up along the way. And the reason I think this is critical, and I'm so proud to be a part of President Trump's Genesis mission, is you're seeing a huge investment right now from the private sector, hundreds of billions of dollars, into developing these AI reasoning models. And look, we're a capitalist society. You know, the reason they're doing it is they think they can make a bunch of money doing it. But I think for the American people, ultimately, the biggest, most valuable application of these AI, artificial intelligence models, will be in science. And the reason is those new medicines you have to treat, you know, whether it's cancer today or maybe Alzheimer's in the future, they originate in a lab like this, in your national labs. New energy breakthroughs, new materials breakthroughs, they originate in your national labs. And AI coupled to autonomous labs has the potential to 5 or 10x the rate of those discoveries and deliver a lot of value back to the American people for their investment in science. And so I'm really excited to be a part of the Genesis mission. And I will say, honestly, I couldn't think of a better person to lead that mission than Secretary Wright. He's a bold entrepreneur, who's built his own companies, also a fellow MIT alum, so he knows a little bit about the technology that happens at these places. So Secretary Wright, I want to welcome you to the podium, and thanks for your service to the country.
Thank you, Jason, and congratulations
thank you.
on winning the award. But I've got to say, to hear Douglas talk about where biologic science is going, understand microbial species, 95% of which we don't even know anything about them right now because we couldn't. The numbers are too vast. Over 8 million different microbial species. We only know a few percent of them. It's machines like this, innovators like Jason, scientists like Douglas that are going to change the game in our understanding of biology. As a kid, I loved physics and chemistry because they were quantitative. And I said, biology's soft and fuzzy, you know? I said it's not a real science. My wife studied biology, so I needlessly ribbed her about that. But now it's changed. Like, what's the most exciting place for quantitative, rigorous technical science? It's in the biological world. It's going to transform healthcare, our understanding of nature, of how systems work, and so many other things. Of course, we're going to use it for energy and conductors. I mean, biology is amazingly varied, but complicated. Now we finally have the tools to grasp, understand how it behaves. And my gosh, the sky's the limit of what we're going to be able to do with these understandings. Thanks to these two fabulous gentlemen who spoke before me. So I've got to say, and I've got to thank President Trump. I'm a career-long science, engineering, tech geek. I've never seen an administration so all in, like doubling down on scientific advancement, innovation. How can we remove any restrictions that slow down technology? We don't want it to drift overseas or out of our country. We want to lead in technological innovation. And our Genesis mission is to harness artificial intelligence, which is rapidly coming of age. It's going to be done for commercial and personal services and all that in the commercial world. What the dream of all of the three of us here and a much larger ecosystem is use that awesome power of artificial intelligence to advance scientific discovery. Oh my gosh, where is that going to go? And to use those tools to advance our understanding about how to produce and manage energy systems, and for national defense applications. And where else to base the Genesis mission than among the 40,000 incredible scientists and engineers at our national labs? But it's not just a national lab thing. That's our awesome tool. But the advancements are critically depending upon close partnerships with commercial businesses, whether they're hyperscalers building massive computation or innovators in biologic sciences or all different areas. What we are all about is accelerating the rate of scientific discovery, engineering, innovation. And we're going to do that with our labs, with our commercial partners, and with an atmosphere that encourages, rewards, and incentivizes innovation. Thank you all for being here. I'm humbled with these two great gentlemen here, but we'll take any questions. We can ask questions, obviously, to any of the three of us.
Before we do that, maybe we're going to do a little bit of a commission.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yes, we haven't
I
actually
stop scientific progress.
we haven't turned it on just yet. So yes, if you would like, Deb has some pens for you to actually officially dedicate the system. We're going to have you sign right up in that corner right up there. Yep.
See why I wasn't a calligrapher. But incredibly proud to be,
It is legible.
to be part of this incredible machine that's going to unleash. This is the age of scientific discovery.
Yep. And now
We're going to let you start it.
Now, yes. Now, if you'll come on up, we're going to have Jason offer up to you to push the magic over.
Yeah, so if you hit that submit
Yes.
button.
It's an honor.
There you go.
Submit.
Submit. Okay, so what's going to happen, just so you know, is this system, a couple things about it. These chambers, when they're up and sealed up, will be air-free. So that's one of the environments that's hardest for scientists to work in.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Not easy. They don't want to be, okay, so you're in there with gloves, really complicated. So the idea is each one of these robotic arms can pick up a sample and put it onto all these different types of lab equipment. And they're all going to be in this air-free environment. So that noise you just heard is a vacuum door opening and a sample from the sample chamber getting sent down. So scientists might have just ordered, hey, I want this sample to go over and go to this machine here so that it can have liquids added to it, or to this machine here so it can be measured. And what the system will do is it'll send it all the way down this long track here. It goes down the back. And it's going to deliver it into right here. The sample. So that's the vacuum lock opening. And then the arm's going to go in. It'll pick up the sample. And it's going to put it onto this track here, which can basically deliver it to any one of the arms in this particular lab. Okay, and that's all computer controlled, right? So again, if you imagine the AI model, it could look and see, oh, okay, I see the results from this, and based on what I saw with that, I think we should adjust the experiment in this way to correct for X or Y. And it could do that all within this system on its own. That's the dream of connecting these AI models to the lab automation here in the autonomous lab.
Phenomenal. That painstaking work that's critical but makes science move slowly.
Yeah.
This accelerates. This leverages the power of human insight.
Yeah.
For faster progress.
We believe this is the new lab bench and pipette for science. They should use the autonomous lab instead, especially here in the United States, because our scientists are more enabled.
So today, my small motor skills, my lack of small motor skills, it wouldn't help me back.
Yeah, exactly. I also
I wish I was a kid
I also
again.
flamed out at the lab, I'll be honest.
I wish I was a kid again.
So they can hear you on camera.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're getting questions. So just go ahead and raise your hand. Please state your name now. If you have a question for Secretary Wright, and if you have one for somebody else, just let us know.
Secretary, this is Connor with the Seattle Times again. So as we learn more about AI, right, we're learning more about its capabilities, and we're also learning more about its shortcomings. We're still seeing large-scale errors, hallucinations, depending on the application. What concerns, if any, do you have about using this still young technology for these type of applications? We're already talking about making scientific discoveries at 5 times or 10 times the rate of humans. What concerns do you have about using AI for such serious scientific work so quickly? Do you have any concerns about the human element, using fewer and fewer human scientists for this type of work? You were also talking about being afraid of losing science and scientists to other countries. The Trump administration has cut billions of dollars worth of science funding all across the country. We've lost quite a few scientists that have left the country. Some of them are arrested by ICE. And we're already talking about a brain drain across many scientists. What do you have to say about human element? I know that's a big question.
So humans drive science and innovation. They always have and they always will. It won't be fewer scientists working on science. In fact, when you get more bang for the buck out of something, when we made better semiconductors, we didn't use less of them, we used more of them. These tools empower scientists. The productivity, the innovation, the things scientists can bring are going to be even greater, which means you're going to want even more. These are tools to enhance scientists, not to replace scientists by any stretch of the imagination. You mentioned hallucinations, and you're right. AI is a new technology, and of course, it's got challenges. But AI for science actually is, I think I have much less concern about that because we have a scientific method. You have a theory, you have an idea, you drive data, you make predictions, and then you measure data. So if AI predicts something, predicts X behavior, and you measure it, and it's wrong, it's wrong. When you're qualitatively analyzing language, you have worries about hallucinations. The scientific progress is rigorous, it's clear, and it's a closed loop system. You make predictions and you measure. You make predictions and you measure. So if you follow the scientific method, you have self-correction and you're in a process of discovery. And AI is going to help, again, speed the productivity, the innovation of discovery of scientists enhanced by a tool. Oh, absolutely. Jason.
Yeah, I came across an old IBM mainframe ad the other day from 1951, and it's a picture of a bunch of engineers holding slide rules, and it's like a sea of them, and it says the new IBM mainframe, an extra 150 engineers, okay, because it had all those slide rule manual work, right? And if you think about the number of software engineers, that's what they were really referring to back then, although they didn't know to call it that. Back in 1951, before we had automated information technology through IBM's technology and others, and the number of software engineers today, I bet there's 1,000 times more today. And that's for exactly the reason the secretary is bringing up. We made it more efficient. Science is limited today by the cost of the lab bench. If it was a lot less expensive, I think we would see 100 times more scientists in this country, which I think would be a very, very good thing for the American people.
Right. Next question. Yes, sir.
Yeah, kind of speaking with that staffing, Wright and Jim can't do news that makes situation here. PNNL recently had some funding cuts to remove some scientists from their positions. Will this project be automated? I know you mentioned that it'll bring more people to those jobs. Will it actually limit jobs here, or will it increase more positions and opportunities here? Or can you talk about that?
For sure, it'll increase positions and opportunities here. What we're trying to do in this administration is find, because their scientific endeavor could be applied in every different direction. We want to find the biggest challenges, the most upside, the boldest challenge, and double down on those. But just in government, just like in a business, you're always re-looking at your business. Are you focusing on the right problems? Are you focusing your resources the right place? There's always change, innovation, and reinvestment. But these are tools absolutely to grow PNNL, to grow the scientific enterprise in our country.
So we've been here, it sounds like, for a good chunk of the day. Could you kind of talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you've seen and how PNNL is going to be, really a part of the Genesis mission in addition to the SAM2 prototype?
Oh, the range, great question. The range of innovation at PNNL is breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. From things down in a secure room about national security, how we're applying AI to keep our country safe and secure, to use AI and technology to better clean up the nuclear waste site that is Hanford. How can we reinvigorate nuclear energy in the United States? That's the work going on here on isotopes, different molecules that decay rapidly. We used to think of them only as dangerous, but of course they're dangerous to what they're close to. There's a growing field to develop these particular isotopes to cure cancers. I was in a lab today where they're developing an automated procedure to safely produce a material that'll be shipped out, is being shipped out for phase 2 trials right now on cancer treatments. There are so many opportunities to do that. I started the day by seeing the mine of the future. We mine today not wildly different than we mined a few hundred years ago. You got to dig a big hole, and we cannot have a modern world without metals and minerals and materials. It's critical. But wow, there's a lot of stuff underground that's not economic to recover with old technology. There's a team here looking at how do you do it smarter. Drill wells down, pump fluids, do a little magic underground, bring stuff back up a borehole instead of a giant hole. Like, that's not only going to increase access to materials in the United States, but it's going to allow us to reduce some dependencies. We're dependent on China and many other countries in the world for very critical materials, but technology and innovation here at PNNL is going to make more of that stuff we can do right here. Technology innovation just opens up so many doors and so many windows. And I'll tell you that the 17 national labs in this country are absolute jewels and gems for our scientific discovery, for our national security, for our economy. And PNNL is absolutely world-class. Big, broad, collaborative, smiling faces. People love what they do here. I'm thrilled to spend the day with him here and thrilled to see the future of this lab thrive.
Any other questions?
We started the day with you talking about our need for more energy, right? What practical applications do you see coming out of that?
Well, I talked briefly about some of the nuclear science that's going on here. Nuclear power was 6.5% of global energy in the year 2000. Today, it's less than 5%. Hasn't really shrunk, but the world energy pie has grown and it hasn't grown. Rich countries have closed down reactors. Middle-income countries have built more. We really want to see nuclear power under a renaissance in the United States. Critical work towards that endeavor is happening right here. As we mentioned, biologics. These microorganisms, they can conduct electricity, they can store energy, we've never used them for that before, but are we going to find additional energy applications from microorganisms? Absolutely. We also looked at cybersecurity, and our electricity grid is another focus area here at PNNL. That's one of the things Americans are most frustrated about right now is the rising cost of electricity. We want to build a bunch of data centers, which are better called intelligence factories. We want to reshore industry to our country and mine underground with different technologies. We need more energy and power to do that. Our grid is incredibly complicated, incredibly important for the American way of life. And the work going on here in collaboration with a few other national labs are going to make our grid smarter, more efficient, more robust, and find the best ways to add new energy to our grid. I started the day at the dams, Lower Snake River dams. Boy, when we arrived in office, those 4 dams were going to be closed and taken offline. That's incredibly valuable power that you can use. You can ramp up when you have peak demand. It's one of the reasons why Washington State has much below average electricity prices versus the rest of the country. Awesome hydroelectric resources. There are technologies to get more hydroelectric energy out of the same amount of water flow. A lot of exciting stuff going on at PNNL and the whole region here.
Thank you all so much. We appreciate your time for being here. Have a great rest of your evening.
Again, thank you all. Thank you all. And cheers to PNNL. What an awesome lab. Hope you're as inspired as I am.
Do you have a minute?
I do.
I would love to show.